Less than 10 years ago, if someone told you that you could die taking a photograph of yourself, you'd probably think they were crazy. Yet in today's world of digital technology, the possibility is now very real. With the revolution of the selfie, it seems everyone is in search of that standout shot. But it appears that in search of the best image, people are taking more and more risks. And a new disturbing phenomena is emerging: death by selfie. Here we look at just 5 of the ever-increasing number of people who have or so nearly paid the ultimate price in search of the perfect selfie. A selfie with a walrus ends in 2 deaths. This case is particularly tragic, as it also claimed the life of a man who tried to rescue the selfie taker. The incident took place in May 2016 when a businessman called Chia from China visited the Shishako Wildlife Park in the northeast of the country. He was visiting the park alone and was documenting his visit using photos and videos that he was posting on social media. He was especially excited about meeting the legendary walrus who lived there. Chia took video footage and then tried to take a selfie with the animal in the background. Reports state he then fell into the water, and the 1.5-ton walrus grabbed him and dragged him underwater. The walrus's zookeeper and closest human friend jumped in to try and save him, but the walrus grabbed him as well. Both men were unable to free themselves from the walrus hug and drowned. The incident was witnessed by onlookers who thought it was part of the entertainment. It's speculated that the walrus was just trying to play, as they are not known to attack humans, especially one who has looked after him since he was a baby. But not realizing his strength, the whole thing ended in tragedy, with both men dead. In the wake of the incident, the park was criticized for not having a security barrier around the walrus enclosure, meaning the public could come in close contact with it, creating the ideal environment for a selfie. Fortunately, the walrus was not put down, and the zoo accepted responsibility and paid Chia's family over $100,000 in compensation. Courtney Sanford. In April 2014, 32-year-old Courtney Sanford was on her way to work along the Interstate 85 in North Carolina. It was around 8:30 in the morning, and at 8:33, a post appeared on her Facebook timeline. At 8:34 AM, police were called to reports of a crash. A woman was dead at the scene. The result was a head-on collision with a truck. It was Courtney Sanford. Police revealed her car crossed the central reservation and crashed into a recycling lorry before bursting into flames. The driver of the car had no chance, although the 73-year-old driver of the truck walked away unharmed. It was later reported she had also been taking selfies while driving along the highway. It was concluded that she had no drink or drugs in her system, and speed was not a factor. The crash and her senseless death was caused by being distracted by taking selfies, and in a split second, her life was over. A near miss by an Indian train. It's interesting to know that the most selfie deaths in the world occur in India, and most of the victims are young people, either electrocuted or struck by trains. Apparently, this is due to the belief that posting on or next to a train track with your best friend is regarded as romantic and a sign of never-ending friendship. However, this next footage was a solo effort and was taken by 25-year-old Shiva Kumar, who was trying to capture a video selfie near a railway station in Hyderabad, southern India. It was shot in January 2018, and Kumar can be seen looking into his phone with a big smile as the train approaches behind. The train is repeatedly sounding its horn, but Kumar stays put and is hit. Remarkably, he survived, but sustained head and body injuries and was taken to hospital. He has since appeared in court and was fined 500 rupees, which equates to around £5.50. The tragic death of 3 young girls in Utah. Now, although there is no official data, this next tragic case was undoubtedly one of the first selfie-related deaths. In October 2011, 3 girls went to Spanish Fork Canyon in Utah to take photos. They were sisters, Kelsey and Savannah Webster, and 15-year-old Essa. The girls were watching the trains and waving to the drivers before they decided to move down to the tracks and take a selfie with an approaching train. As the train neared, Savannah posted on her Facebook page, "Standing right by a train, this is awesome." Just moments later, the girls were struck by a train coming in the opposite direction. It's thought the noise of the first train prevented the girls from hearing the second on the other track. The first one was a westbound Utah Railway, and the second was an eastbound Union Pacific. It was revealed that the girls waved to the driver of the Utah Railway train, completely unaware there was another train heading straight for them. The driver of the Union Pacific repeatedly sounded his horn, but the thunderous sound of the other train meant they didn't hear it or failed to respond. The girls were stood in the 3-foot gap between the two passing trains, and the resulting turbulence would have been strong enough to force them into the side or under the passing trains. Kelsey and Essa were killed instantly, but remarkably, Savannah survived the initial impact, but sadly died 3 days later. A fall from a window. In November 2017, a young woman fell from a window in South London. 2 days after the fall, the lady passed away, and it was confirmed she fell after trying to take a selfie. Her name was Toni Kelly, a 20-year-old who had recently settled in Britain after moving from her home in New Zealand. Toni was a keen traveller who was known to document her life and trips on Instagram, and it was while trying to capture a shot of her new life in London that she fell from the second-storey window to the streets below. She suffered serious head injuries and died 2 days later on November the 14th. After her death, friends had to raise money through a Just Giving page to fly her body home to New Zealand. So that's 5 people who risked it all for the perfect selfie. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.